Check, check. Mic check. Looks good. All right, looking to make sure. Let me make sure all things are closed here. All right. All right, we are ready to go live. Let's go. Good evening, everybody. Hope everyone's been doing well. Hope you are all having a great time. Had a fantastic weekend, and I hope everyone had a safe weekend, and I hope you are ready to learn. So let's take a quick look over at the charts. Let me get a couple of things set up here, and we should be good to go. All right, where's my economic calendar? ABS Phoenix, yeah, A-OK. Mason Sellers, yo, 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 what's up, bro? Good to see you too. Mason, Phoenix, always a pleasure to see you, brother. And Mason, good to see you too. I see you hopping on these streams now, so I appreciate having you here. So, had a lot of stuff happen last week, but let's take a look at the charts and see if we can get you your weekly prep and get ready for the week. So, let's head over to the charts. So, first, oh man, thank you for being the first one to like this, Phoenix. Appreciate having you here, brother. So, hell of a week last week, right? Lots of landmines. So hopefully you lasted and were able to, watch out for those. We do have a couple of things this week. As you know, Fed Chair Powell spoke. If you didn't pay attention to some of the details there, you can go to this this account called Walter Bloomberg. It's DEITAONE Delta One, and he basically does all Bloomberg related news, and it does he actually took Jay Powell's speech and dialed into some of the comments that are important there. One thing that I thought was really interesting is that Powell said the Fed expects to make 3 rate cuts this year. Now, he said that maybe the March timeframe would be a little bit too soon in order to make those. So I don't think that he said that he could move sooner to cut rates if the labor market is weak or if inflation's really persuasively comes down. But he expects that March meeting likely is too soon to have confidence to cut rates. So you want to follow accounts like that and keep in mind how that plays into the week, right? So on this week, we've got ISM PMI services at 10 a.m. On Monday, we've got FOMC speakers on Tuesday, FOMC speakers on Wednesday, and the 10-year bond auction. If you haven't sat through a 10-year bond auction and a 30-year bond auction, those can be very volatile. So don't let this orange impact folder phase you. This can be pretty brutal sometimes. But if you're on side, it can be really nice too. So unemployment claims on Thursday, this is what you're going to be setting up for. So Monday, Tuesday trading is fine. Wednesday morning is fine. Beware of Wednesday afternoon trading. 10-year bond auction will give you some volatility there. Thursday, of course, unemployment claims. You all know how important that is. And then, of course, there's nothing on Friday. So let's go to the charts and see what we find out from there, right? Would you take it here, please? The Bloom. Oh, yeah, sure. Let me show you that link. So if I go to Twitter, let me search DEITAONE. So it's DEITAONE. And it would be this one here. It won't let me sign in. I don't want to sign in with Google, but it's this one that you see here. It basically copies the data from Bloomberg and it spits it out as quickly as you can here on Twitter. So I like to monitor that from time to time just to see what's going on. So you can check that one out here. Very, very good. Very, very good here. Okay, so let's take a look at the charts and let's go over, since we're at a new month, let's take a look at the monthly chart first, and this will give us an idea of what's going on here. And we're going to do the same for the Dow and for ES as well. So NASDAQ, you can kind of see here, as you all know, we've been riding the wave. We breached the top at the end of January, traded down, and then February we traded back up above as well. So that was a really interesting end of January. So we made a new all-time high on January 24th, and we ended up trading back down. And then during FOMC, we came down to a weekly imbalance. You see those orange lines here, right? So we came down to a weekly imbalance and traded back up from there, creating another volume imbalance here. So there's 2 monthly volume imbalances that we're waiting for. I'm not going to pull these across all charts. I just want to point out a couple of things that I note here, that this volume imbalance has not been rebalanced yet, but this one has. So there's a monthly level that's fully rebalanced, and then there's this weekly level that's also fully rebalanced. So that's why we jumped up so heavily when we hit that level, right? So yeah, I think from a monthly perspective, February has already started on the way up. There are a key highs. Obviously, this new all-time high is a key high that I'll be looking at. But the question is, hey, for this month, where is it more likely? So since you have this open, is it more likely to expand higher now, or is this month more likely to head lower and aim to take out this previous? Is it more likely to take out the previous month's high, or is it more likely to take out the previous month's low? This would be quite a bit of movement for it to come all the way down to take out this month's low. So I think it's more likely to take out this month's high first. But this is a monthly candle. We're in the beginning of a month. A lot of things can happen in a month, as you can see on this previous January candle. So right now, we're at the beginning of the month. February generally is a more bullish type of month. So from a seasonal tendency perspective, I'm thinking that February is more likely to take out this top here. So we're going to be keeping an eye on 17,794, which is the previous month's high. And then once you take out that high, we will see what happens next, right? So we don't know what's going to happen next all-time highs. We could continue higher, but we do know we just took out a really key intermediate term high up here, right? So let's go down to a weekly chart now and take a look and see what's happening. So again, same chart on the weekly. Let's blow this up a little bit so we can see a little bit more, right? And so you can kind of see, same deal. We're at highs. The previous week traded down into this buy side imbalance first, creating potentially a new short-term low on the weekly chart. So I would like for us to stay above the low of this week. So the question for you now is this weekly candle more prone to expand higher and take out short-term highs? Or is it more likely to reject from here and potentially aim for short-term lows? Or is it going to be an inside candle and not even take this out, but create a short-term low here, which could be taken out in future weeks, sometime later on down the road, right? I don't know. We don't know this early in the week. Mason sellers, I usually give them Monday because of the uncertainty and the power of 3, and Friday, yes. Find that trading with the potential weekly range expansion days are higher probability for me. Yes, 100%. I love that Mason just said that. Power of 3 is very, very important there. We don't know come Monday what exactly the week is going to do. But what we can do is we can define IPTA trading ranges with this new weekly candle. We have a whole bunch of more days now to work with, and we have a new IPTA data range as well. So what we're going to do is since we don't know exactly which way the week's going to run, my bias is that we are close enough, and we did not take buy side liquidity last week. So I would like for us, if we are going to expand higher and head lower, go higher first and then expand lower, I would prefer if we would either take out last week's close or last week's high first. I would like for us to trade up to see that, if at all possible, first. If we are going to head higher, well, There's no weekly order blocks here. There's outstanding liquidity down here, but we immediately rebalanced off of this weekly fully balanced price range. Remember these orange lines that I marked out, and I said, hey, there's a high likelihood we will bounce here or at most go down to this other breaker, right? We rebalanced quickly. It was an immediate rebalance back to the upside on this. So that leads me to believe that we've still got some juice to go, even though we are at all-time highs, right? So let's go down to a daily chart next. And let's take a look at the daily chart now. So the daily chart, this is the same movement lower, right? We have a volume imbalance here. We traded down to this old new week opening gap and traded higher on that last day. And now we're inside of this candle here, right? So that's what we're looking at right this moment now. Let me see what's going on here. Oh, that's right. So on this week, knowing that we have this week we have a Thursday unemployment claims, I think that we are seeing some additional consolidation around this area. This is a previous monthly intermediate term high, right? 17,702 monthly long-term high. And this level will be important for the time being. I mean, I want to draw this out over time. So this level will be important, 17,702.5. I should technically say 17,702.5, but so things I'm looking for, I like this relative equal high that's been left out there. I do think that we're going to head up there. We traded down to a volume imbalance, and let me blow this up a little bit so you can see it. So we can see the daily chart a little bit easier here. So we can see relative equal highs here. If we are going to reach those, I could definitely see us having a profile where we either head up to take out outstanding buy side liquidity, and then we head lower for the week to aim for this daily volume imbalance here. That's what I'm thinking. Maybe this week we end up heading towards, and then Thursday, maybe if now this is the tricky part here, is I don't know if we're gonna come back down and maybe like start to see price head lower. It is a month where we generally are heading higher, right? February is generally a bullish month for indices. So what I would expect to see is maybe we come down towards these old new week opening gaps. Maybe we trade back down into this daily volume imbalance here. And that would put us at this open of 17,427. What is the low here? 17,262. So we're ways away from that. But if we are looking for price to draw somewhere, this volume imbalance seems to jump out at me. I think we could possibly come down and attack that, combined with this down close candle, where we kind of like immediately rebalanced up from here. So I think a return back to that would allow us to also, within this swing range, that would also allow us to come to around the optimal trade entry to head higher. And maybe Thursdays, maybe we head downwards first and then head to optimal trade entry and then consolidate. Maybe we come back down to here, and then maybe unemployment claims brings us back up to take out this high later on in the week. So that's kind of like what I'm looking at right now. Phoenix 816 is what I have on the 1 hour. Okay, cool. We'll take a look at that. I don't know if we're going to go down to the hour today because this is weekly prep, but we're going to be talking about this market structure here nevertheless. So on the daily chart, that's what I see right now. We're within this dealing range. So until we break out of this range, this is the range for data that I'm going to be looking at. We with this immediate rebalance, I'm looking at this high being taken out first. Let's go to a 4-hour chart next, though. So this is a 4-hour chart, and we see what happened over the course of the time here. We know that there's continual room here, so let's take a closer look. Let me see what this is. 4-hour chart. Let me get rid of these. This is something that's not relevant anymore. Okay. There we go. It's a little bit cleaner now. Okay, good. Let me make sure my other items are still here. Okay, good. Good. Okay. So let's go down to a 4-hour chart now to see what's going on here, right? So remember, on the daily chart, I was looking for potentially this bullish breaker. We never traded back down to it, right? 9th through 15th of February, market makes high LP trades. Good evening. Yeah. So yeah, that's good data to potentially reach for. So on the 4-hour chart, so we can kind of take a look at this. You can kind of see how we were beginning to consolidate at that all-time high, right? That monthly long-term high there. So what we're seeing here is we're seeing price continue to move higher, and we just broke above that old long-term high. We took out sell stops here, came back down into a weekly balanced price range, and now headed higher, came back down into that 4-hour range and headed higher again. So what are we going to do next? Well, we're in this consolidation range. Looking at the bodies of these, we can see that we came down to take out some sell stops, but are now heading higher. We're consolidating in this consolidation range again. So this could be one big consolidation range, or if we see price, continue to support this area, meaning it doesn't trade back down to it, it supports bullish order blocks, heads higher, then potentially we could be seeing additional all-time highs. Now, let's take a quick look at this time, and let's take a quick look over at the monthly chart, because here on the monthly chart for ES, this is also something worthwhile mentioning. So on ES, remember, this is our six sister concept where recently you can see it barely breached that rejection block up there. So it doesn't have to go for all-time highs, but if we are thinking, and this is where ES is going to win if this is the case, NASDAQ and YM both have already breached their all-time highs. In fact, YM continues to make all-time highs. So if you think about ES, it's not quite there yet, but it's on its way up, right? So if we continue and get that buy-side liquidity that's waiting on ES, that's only about 30 points, right? So we could continue to see ES run up while NASDAQ and the Dow follow suit or consolidate. So I think if you're looking for upside, ES is going to be the one that you want to trade. That is the one that I think will provide a six sister type move to the upside before we head lower, right? So we're at February. We're at a point where I would look for a quarterly shift potentially. If there isn't one, it doesn't have to shift and go down. It can always shift and go up. But I was looking also at the commitment of traders, and it is a weird set of commitment of traders. Really weird set of commercial traders. So on the NASDAQ, commercial traders are net short by a lot. But on Dow, same thing. They're net short by a lot. But for E-mini, they're actually closing in the gap in which they are net short. So they're actually buying soon. If I see that flip to the upside this Tuesday or this week, then I will be potentially switching over to trade ES and trading that until it hits its high. I don't know if it's going to happen, but that is something that I'm looking into. I might not, because I might not even be able to trade this week, because I actually have a hugely important week of planning at my firm. Day long meetings, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday straight. So it'll be small scalps if I do take a trade. And I'm waiting for the evaluation accounts that I got earlier to pass, right? So you saw on Friday, I passed in one day a 150K account and then another 50K account. I actually passed another one, but I didn't put it on screen, but I talked about it earlier. So I have a handful of accounts waiting to get passed. And so I'll just end up waiting and taking micro trades until those pass into full PA accounts, and then go back to trading those. So, so that means I don't have to take any big trades this week. There's no reason for me to take big trades unless I buy another evaluation account. I actually have a video coming up where I talk a little bit more into what Friday's trades are. So I'll probably post that on, maybe I'll post that on like Monday or something like that. I'll have it released like Monday night, or so. So yeah, you can kind of see how on ES and YM, ES is the laggard. So keep that in mind for the upcoming day. So here, I think right now there's a lot of sell side liquidity waiting to get taken. Now, we haven't fully made any big picture moves to the downside, in my opinion. I think that we still have a higher time frame bullish move. And if we get a move lower for Monday and Tuesday, potentially, I think at most we could move down into this area of distribution. Oh, actually, it's more like reaccumulation from this market maker buy model there. I think that we could trade higher and then potentially start a market maker sell model, or if we trade lower here, we could create a market maker sell model, trade it down to roughly this old consolidation, and then look for price to give us evidence to head higher this week, because we do have outstanding liquidity waiting for us below here. Mason, I'm thinking we make a higher time frame Judas, make people think seasonal tendencies are in play, then rip it lower after accumulating, sweeping sell side before continuing higher. Yeah, I mean, I like the sell side. I like looking for sell side now more than ever. I am cognizant that it is a election year, so I'm just going to be careful. But I would prefer seeing evidence of it going sell side before immediately going sell side. So I need to see some really big displacement here. Not to say that I won't take shorts. You obviously saw me take shorts as well. But right now, until I get those new performance accounts, I'll probably just lay low, trade sim, trade demo, make sure that I'm trading well, and get ready for the week. So yeah, I think that is, it's so tough to figure out where we're gonna go on a Monday. So I don't think that we're gonna see anything major, but I do see these relative equal highs forming. If we end up trading lower, maybe since we just if we take out this short-term high quickly, I would look for a market maker sell model to take us lower, at least towards these new week opening gaps. If we at unemployment, if we break down far below that, well, I mean, we need to see then, does it take out this just a little bit and then bounce upwards, or does this take this out with some vengeance and head down to this bullish breaker? So then we're going to have to figure out what exactly is our tune for the week. So early on in the week, again, we're in this kind of like dealing range right now. So you have sell side liquidity waiting for you down here, but we've already traded down to that weekly imbalance here and immediately rebalanced, right? So I do see, and we traded down to that bullish breaker here and immediately traded higher too. So there is liquidity resting down here though. So I don't want to necessarily count that out, but you also see this area of accumulation. So if we trade lower, I would look to see if this big black candle, if we trade down to it and then immediately head higher to aim for 17,794, which is this high there. Finishing off this whole range here, I was anticipating that it should take these out, but maybe not this one last week. So the question is does it take this out quickly during the week and then head lower a little bit towards the latter part of the week? Either way, I think that this high is going to get taken out at some point this week. I just don't know if it's going to be early on the week or if we're going to trade lower first and then head higher. So we will typically, we need to see how Monday plays out. We need to see how and what price does, which way is it going first within this weekly profile. Right now, as you can see, we opened up. Let me go to this week's candle only. So as you can kind of see, we opened, went higher, and now are trading just beneath the new week opening gap, right? So we're hovering right around that new week opening gap. So I don't know which way it's going to go yet. It hasn't given me a big enough determination as to what direction it's going to go. So after Monday, we'll have a much better idea of where we potentially can go. So stay right now. I do not have a bias. If I were to gun to my head, I think we are going to go like maybe trade to a discount and then go take this out, or maybe we just consolidate a little bit and head lower to head higher later in the week. So we'll see. Again, let's let Asia and London give us some more time and information, and then we will have what we need on Monday to determine where we're going to go the rest of the week. So we'll continue to touch base. I will be on, but I don't think I'll be trading this week except for my little micro trades to get my evals to performance accounts again. So we'll continue to read price on Monday, but I will have to be a little bit, actually, I think I have like some appointments early on in the day tomorrow too. So it's going to be very, very short streams. I've also like kind of reviewed the stream itself. Most people drop off when I'm gone after, 8 in the morning or 9 in the morning, with a few of you staying on the rest of the stream. So, I'm debating if it's even valuable to stream on the days where I know I'll be physically in office, and I'm debating it, but I think it's still valuable to stream in the morning when I'm looking for some trades in New York kill zone. Just this week, I don't know if I'll be able to do it because it's a really, really hard week, really, really full, packed week. So this week I might have smaller streams, just because I don't have the time, unfortunately. My work is going to be taking over. It's a little more stressful week. So, yeah. Oh, dude, Abraham? That's so funny. Good to see you, brother. This is the guy that got me onto ICT, Abraham Sanchez, in the chat. So, he got me on to Michael on, I think, October of 2022. So we are now back in motion, and we are here. So potential SMT on NASDAQ where liquidity was taken on ES and YM. Yes, there is a potential SMT on that. I think that ES is gonna be treated more like a six sister. Abraham, I really do. I mean, NASDAQ and the Dow took out their highs already, and ES is just waiting. It wants to. I would like to see a little spike here. If we don't, and if we see an actual market reversal, then that would be a higher time frame SMT divergence, and that would give us our quarterly shift. So, yeah, exactly. Dollar is running for that weekly. So dollar is running for a weekly level that we had drawn out a ways back. I think it was still down here when we were talking about dollar, right? And I was mentioning these relative equal highs are what it's running for. So I like the run for this, and I would like to see. I still think that this could serve as a inversion fair value gap on the monthly level. If you see that we have this buy side imbalance here, we have traded through here. I still think I would look to see if this serves as a inversion fair value gap, or because it's a balanced price range now, right? If it trades through it and above it, then I'd be using this as a jumping off point to aim for this short-term high on the dollar next. So 107.375. So we'll see. But yeah, I mean, that's it for the weekly prep. I mean, again, it's so hard to tell what's going to happen being Monday. So I think that high is going to be suspect here, especially since we've created relative equal highs up here now. Now, what I'll be looking for first is a market maker sell model to head lower to this original consolidation, or rather, this is a reaccumulation on a higher time frame market maker buy model. So on NASDAQ, I mean, technically we finished it already. So it doesn't have to go any higher, but given ES has some room to go, I think we're going to treat that, at least do a run on stops above that IPTA 20-day IPTA high on NASDAQ. So we'll see. Let's see how Monday trades, and then we'll look to see where our swing projections take us from there. But yeah, I think that's it for tonight, folks. I need to go do a little bit of studying still. I'm still looking through some of the price action model 6 lessons that ICT's put out, and don't have too much time before I have to get ready and get to sleep for the week. So yeah, absolutely. Yeah, appreciate Abraham putting us on ICT. So yep. So I think that's it, team. We're going to go ahead and call that our prep for the night or the week, and we'll have to see how Monday trades. We'll have a better idea of what's going to happen on Monday. So thanks for hopping on, everybody. Appreciate you. And let's see how Monday plays out. Be careful on Monday. Be careful this week. We do have ISM PMI services at 10 a.m., so you'll probably get a good ICT silver bullet at 10 a.m., but there's FOMC speakers all week, so it's going to screw with you throughout the week. So take care, everybody. Stay safe, stay hydrated, and we'll catch up. Yeah, I'd love to have you here more, Abraham. I'm usually streaming like in the morning though, like 6 a.m. to 8 a.m. So I don't have much time during the weekdays. So, you know, it is what it is. That I trade with what I can, right? So, WF, thanks, man. Yeah, appreciate you guys. Be careful Monday. Let's wait until we get a little bit more information on Monday and then go from there. So, if you are going to trade Monday, look for 15, 5-minute, 1-minute draws on liquidity. You can still trade, as you can kind of see here. Each of these days, you can refer to relative equal highs and look at lower time frame setups. Right? There's always going to be some sort of setups on the lower time frames, so you can look for mini takes on buy side liquidity, like here. You can look for little runs on sell side liquidity. You can look for things like that and scalps. I think that's totally fine, but you need to be aware of what is your higher time frame bias and where is it going to go next. So yeah, absolutely. Okay, guys, take care and get some rest, and thank you all for joining on. Good luck, and we'll trade safe tomorrow. Take care, everybody. Have a good night. See ya.